Good morning, everybody. This is the Heavy Metal Chemist once again, coming at you with another bloggy type thing. Today I want to talk about a fairly controversial topic quickly, that being hydraulic fracturing, or fracking as it's better known. Go through a bit of the science behind it, because I am a scientist, and then my thoughts on the kind of morals and ethics of it, if you will, compared with other emerging technologies. So fracking is basically where you explore the rocks underneath the land, see if there's any gas trapped in it, because normally oil or gas is stored in fairly porous rocks, which you can easily just drill into and then just tap the whole thing and it just comes out under the pressure that's under the earth. Fracking's a bit different because of the rocks that it's contained in aren't porous. So you have to pump high pressure fluid down. This is the hydraulic bit, to basically break the rocks apart a little bit, so you can get the oil out. And you basically prop the cracks open using tiny little particles, and then the pressure forces the oil out. So there have been a number of concerns about this, over the chemicals used, because apparently these can leak into the water course, as happened in America quite a lot. There's been a lot of fracking going on in the States lately. And I know the current oil price dip hasn't helped anything, but they've still done a lot of fracking. And the thing that comes to my mind really is it worth it in this day and age? Yes, we know oil's a finite resource, and yeah, we can dig more of it out by fracking it out the ground, but do we really need to? This is the thing that comes to my mind, because emerging technologies are coming to the point now where realistically we could get all our power from nuclear energy, or renewables, or a combination of both. Nuclear, yes, it has a high capital investment to start with, but it's completely zero carbon, and once modern reactors burn up most of the waste anyway. So realistically, it's a far better way of doing things. Just be careful where you site your reactors, aka Fukushima. We're probably not as much at risk of this in the UK as we are in other countries, because we don't really have tsunamis, we don't have earthquakes, we don't have any of that jazz, so that's not really a problem. Despite the fact that there's probably 200 years worth of high quality anthracite coal buried underneath Yorkshire and Wales that we could dig up if oil does run dry, to continue to run coal-fired power stations. Sorry, I'm just drinking a cup of tea. And the whole fracking thing's being a big thing in my area, because I live in the northwest of England, where there's supposedly a lot of shale gas around Blackpool, and protesters have been going absolutely mental over it. They don't want it to ruin the countryside, and I can see where they're coming from, but my point being, realistically, fracking is not needed in this day and age, because we have energy sources from elsewhere. We have solar, people are getting solar panels on their roofs. Yes, we can't store it, but other sources can make up for that at night. We have wind power. UK's surprisingly windy, so we can use that. We could use wave power. We can use nuclear to plug the gaps. And when we can find ways of storing energy better, modern technologies, battery technologies, advancing at an alarming rate, which is a good thing. And you look at electric cars like the Tesla, or even the humble little Nissan Leaf. I know it's not a fantastic car, but you can do a lot worse. It's better than a G-Whiz anyway. They've come a very long way and are getting to the point where I think they are usable. So realistically, fracking in this day and age it's just not really defensible, because it's not needed. You know, it's basically pointless in the grand scheme of things. You don't need to effectively, you could possibly poison lots of people with all this crap pumping into the groundwater. I mean, I know it's not that toxic, but you don't really want a load of cesium salts entering the watercourse, or God knows what other stuff they're putting in there. I've not bothered to look up the full list of chemicals, but some of them aren't particularly pleasant. It's just the hazards and the fact that we're trying to cut down on CO2 emissions when we are already digging oil out of the Saudi desert and under the oceans and out of the Arctic. Sea ice is disappearing during the summers nowadays. It's climate change is definitely happening, and if we want to reverse it, fracking is not the way to go about it. Really, not the way to go about it. I mean, I don't understand our current establishment's approach to energy, where they cut all the subsidies for clean energy. Solar panels on people's roofs are a fantastic idea, and yeah, I'm looking out my window now. I can see two of our neighbours have got solar panels on their roofs. Just from looking one direction, it's a good idea, because really each household's generating a couple of thousand watts. They fill their own power bills quite nicely on a nice sunny day like today, and put some back into the grid as well, which is probably powering my computer. So ultimately, yeah, fracking not needed. I mean, aside from all the potential hazards that come with it, it is just not necessary. Really, just not necessary. I mean, the same with digging for oil elsewhere. It's once the supply we have runs out, that's it, really. I mean, yeah, we can try and eke out the last little bits. Biotech's coming on a long way for artificial oil production. They can make it from algae using high pressure and high temperature, converts it to a kind of black goop, which is mostly hydrocarbons. So, and the algae absorbs CO2, so effectively you're just recycling that. Coming on with nuclear fusion. That's still a while off, but nuclear fission, aside from all the byproducts that come with it, which again, like I said, modern reactors are much cleaner than the older ones, and disposal procedures are getting more advanced year on year, so we're getting there. We are getting there slowly, but it's with the technology we've got, we just don't need it. Really don't need it. So that's my thoughts on that. I'll try and stick some other stuff up some point soon. But yeah, have a good week, guys. Let me know what you think, and like the video and subscribe and all that kind of jazz. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you very much, and goodbye.